The Big Data Expo, Guiyang, China. Visit here and you'll see why the OECD has predicted 2019 will be the first year China outspends the US on R&D. And you'll see why China is becoming the world leader in technology and innovation.
You see in the tech space, a lot of the innovations coming out of China are being taken and some would say copied by the likes of Amazon and Facebook and Google. So you're definitely going to get more influence from a lot of those Chinese brands and products. And I think it will continue as they expand globally.
But innovation has other dimensions too, like the innovative thinking employed by companies successfully engaging in cross-border trade with China. We're about to meet some of the innovative thinkers and game changers, entrepreneurs and companies who are helping to shape the course of business between Australia and China in the years to come. Shanghai, a city experiencing unprecedented growth for startups. This city, historically a centre for finance and banking, is attracting a new wave of international entrepreneurs, all eager to tap into the Chinese market. Dane Richmond from Australia's Trade and Investment Commission talks to us about the Landing Pads program.
So it's a 90-day program that brings Australian tech startups and SMEs to the market. 90 days sounds like a long time, but I think generally by about day 10 or so, people start to realise that 90 days is a very short amount of time to find your way here in what's a very complicated market. So it's really, to me, it's a window of opportunity.
The Chinese government is trying to build Shanghai as an international innovation hub. So the local government has since then established a series of policy to support foreign startups to come and stay in China. So the ecosystem here is very vivid and which attracts lots of startups, venture capitals all around the world.
You can't really work harder, you have to work smarter, and that requires innovation.
Innovative thinking has brought two young Australian entrepreneurs to Shanghai. Their startup is already engaging with the Chinese market and they have plans to take it global.
So my name's Brett, this is my brother Shane. We are two founders of a startup called Matrak, based out of Melbourne. We focus on materials tracking in the construction industry through manufacture, delivery to site, installation and QA.
It's definitely way more competitive than what we would be used to in Australia. But I think probably the biggest cultural difference that was quite surprising was just how, in so many facets, China's well ahead of Australia from a tech perspective.
If you come to China, you will soon realize that the market here is moving very fast. So if you don't have a technology which is strong enough to compete with local team, it's going to be very difficult for the Australian startup to survive in this market.
We always saw our initial strategy in China being a channel to market back to Australian builders, being able to help them connect with their clients overseas. But from here, now that we've started doing some partnerships with some of the Chinese manufacturers, it's actually going to be a channel to market to the rest of the world as well. And so a lot of our Chinese customers have clients in the US and Canada, Russia, the Middle East. So it really is kind of the gateway to the rest of the world.
Matrak is a good example of a next-generation startup fostered by Austrade's Landing Pads program. The intention behind assisting these startups is that the combination of Australian thinking and the power of the China market will result in the next unicorn, a startup company valued at over $1 billion, and generate cross-border benefits for both countries. Here in Sydney, we're taking a look at another example of game-changing thinking. When challenged with the question of how to build China-Australia relationships, China-born Australian-educated Ryan Golan has involved himself in a lateral way.
The important thing is people of two different countries, and they are the ones that will connect. They are the ones that will do the business. They are the ones that will travel and visit and make friends. And it's important for the civilians to understand each other more. And I think the best way to do it is through the non-political way, and art and culture is the best way.
This passion for cultural exchange took on added impetus when, in early 2019, The Shanghai-based Hurun Report, best known for China's Rich List, launched its international networking club in Australia. Ryan took up the position of Hurun Australia's vice chair.
So Hurun Report was founded by a Western guy, actually. His name is Rupert Hochworth, and his Chinese name is Mr. Hurun. The Hurun Report business got three main divisions. There's the research, there's the new media and event platform, and there's the Hurun investment. If you combine all the Hurun brands and Hurun media, online and offline, and events, we have averaged about 3 billion views a year. So this is an extraordinary platform. It's a very influential and very powerful platform.
Hurun is using this platform to connect people worldwide who are keen to support bilateral relations with China, whether business, social or cultural. Hurun Chair Rupert Hochworth highlighted this prior to the Australian Awards dinner.
What we're trying to do today with our very good friend Ryan and all our friends from PwC and everybody here is we're trying to build a platform of friends. That's how you build trust.
The 4-day Australian event was organised by Hurun Australia and attended by successful business leaders and philanthropists from both China and Australia. Events included a day at the Chinese Festival of Spring Racing and a tour of the visiting Chinese exhibition at the Art Gallery of New South Wales.
The three pillars, in my opinion, is we want to connect people and communities in business, investment being one, in art and culture being another, and then it's about giving back to the community in philanthropy in the third.
The Hurun Award dinner recognised those who've built cross-border Australia-China relationships through philanthropy, art and culture and business.
The event is not about me, it's not about Rupert, it is about a community. It is about a community of people who share the same value and same beliefs. And if we can all unite together and do something great, I think that is something that we can look back in 10 or 20 years and say, hey, we were part of that team.